Are you struggling with declaring and using views in Kotlin for your Android project? You're not alone. Today, we're diving into a common issue that many developers face when working with layouts. I totally get it. It can be incredibly frustrating when your code seems right, but you still encounter errors. If you've ever faced a Kotlin null pointer exception, you know exactly what I mean. Let's look at the specific question at hand. One user asked, "Why am I getting a Kotlin null pointer exception when declaring my linear layout?" They provided their code, and it seems like a straightforward setup, but something is going wrong. So, what could be causing this null pointer exception? It often happens when you're trying to access a view before it has been properly initialized. In this case, it looks like the linear layout might not be set up correctly before you're trying to use it. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to fix this issue and avoid it in the future. Plus, I've got a great tip that will make your coding life easier. To resolve the Kotlin null pointer exception, the user should first ensure that the linear layout variables are properly initialized. Instead of using a nullable type, we can use a non-nullable type and initialize them in the onCreate method. Next, the user should initialize these variables in the onCreate method after calling the super method. This ensures that the views are available when the activity is created. Additionally, the user should check that the IDs used in findViewById match those defined in the XML layout file. This prevents any potential mismatches that could lead to a null pointer exception. Finally, the user should run the application again to see if the changes resolve the issue. If the problem persists, checking the logcat for additional errors can provide further insights. Fun fact, did you know that Kotlin was designed to be fully interoperable with Java? This means you can mix and match both languages in your Android projects. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests adding the Kotlin Android extensions to your Gradle build file. This way, you won't need to manually initialize your layout parameters. Let's take a look at another answer from another user. An alternative solution suggests using the lateInit keyword for declaring views in Kotlin. This allows you to create non-nullable properties that are initialized later, specifically in the onCreate method of your activity. This approach helps avoid Kotlin null pointer exceptions by ensuring that the properties are initialized before use while still maintaining non-nullable types. That's the end of that answer. Let's see another perspective. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests initializing your linear layout variables as nullable. They recommend using the syntax with a question mark, allowing for null values. Then, to use these views, simply assign them using findViewById with the appropriate type. This approach helps avoid null pointer exceptions. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. An alternative approach shared by another user involves binding views in a simpler way. They suggest using the findViewById method directly with the specific view type, like this: var myDen equals findViewById button artid.btn myButton. This method eliminates the need for null assertions. Now, let's shift our focus to a different response. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests declaring your linear layout variables as nullable. They recommend initializing them as null and using the findViewById method to assign the views. Here's that tip I promised. Always initialize your views in the onCreate method of your activity. This will save you from many headaches down the line. And there you have it. With these steps, you should be able to resolve the null pointer exception and get back to coding. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.